to keep me out the loop. Just keep on getting loot. Two wrongs don't make it right, but it's gonna change my mood. Fuck the law, we breaking rules. I was getting brain school. Yeah, I had a
like
couple
family
too. Had some problems with some
barbecues and
dudes. If you
get-togethers
scared, go
or
to
whatever, we
church.
should
What's
have
the
like a
name
tech
in the
that.
dirt? So
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody sit around like, all right, y'all, this is gonna be the new. Who don't know how to take pictures? Auntie, come here. I'm gonna show y'all. And you know what? Maybe we have to set up a little thing like this is how we do it. You know, Brad.
Yo. What it is, what it do. We are back here with another episode of the Just Say It podcast. I am your host, Warren Sox.
And I am your co-host, DJ Blood Money.
And thank you for tuning in to another episode. Like I told y'all, we was going to bring some guests on here. We wanted to bring some guests to give the world some game, give the world some knowledge. We didn't just want to bring people to just talk about, music and things that interest them. We actually wanted to bring people on here that hopefully somebody will watch this video and be inspired by, probably make some money, better their life. So I personally brought a guest on here that I thought was very important to our podcast. Hopefully this man will give y'all some lifelong, incredible game that you can use in your lifestyle. Maybe it's something you can learn from this episode. But I want to introduce none other than my man, Mike Judge. Let's give him a hand clap for Mike Judge, y'all.
Mike Judge in the building.
Mike Judge
Free
in the
game
building.
to that guy. Free game to that guy.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you and your time and stuff. We going to go ahead and jump right into it. So, like I said, this is my boy Mike. He knows a lot about investing. Off camera, we always talked, and he would always give me knowledge about things to do with your money, how to invest your money. So that's what this episode is going to be morely aimed towards, about investing, about how you can use your money the right way instead of the wrong way, instead of buying a whole bunch of BS. What can you do to make a profit, double up, and use your financials in a smart way? So
Stop giving it to your homeboy drug dealer saying that he gonna make a flip and he gonna use his baby mama tax money. They gonna make a flip and he ain't never made a flip yet. Y'all need to listen down to my man Mike Judge. Judge, right?
Yes.
Talking about my man's Mike Judge. And he gonna get y'all right, man. Stop listening to them bad investors, man. Hey, man, look, man, all we need to do, when a motherfucker talk like that, and he say all you need to do is run. Like that. When somebody say that, that's the number one red flag. Do not listen to what he got to say. It's not gonna work. All we need to do is All we need to do is not listen. But none other than Mike Judge gonna give y'all some free game about the investments and stock game, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So tell me one thing before you get into everything. How'd you get into investing? How'd you get into investing?
I'm gonna say like 2020, during COVID or whatever, when everybody was home. I'm just going through YouTube and looking at different videos or whatever, and I ran across a couple personalities that was talking about money. Because at that time we were sitting home, and I would work, but the checks was just coming in, and I didn't have nowhere to spend it. So I was just like, oh man, so let me, they talking about this Robinhood or whatever, with different apps or whatever. So I said, let me put my money, with what I know. So I just downloaded the app and start playing it like it was a video game, but it was real money though. Right. And I looked up and I said, hey man, I done made a little profit off of this. Hold up, let me start taking this serious.
Oh snap! So you just seen your money go from little to thick. Pause.
Yes.
Overnight and stuff like that. So when everybody was home and stuff like that, you said you got the app, invested into yourself, money came. What was one thing that you felt like might have held you back?
I think the fear of losing your money. I think a lot of us are scared of putting our money in, like, all right, where is it going? Yeah. But, every day we'll spend money on the dumbest thing, So I said, well, what, it don't matter, you'll blow $50 and don't know where it went. So, let me just try to invest it.
You're not the only one. Shoot, I feel that. What does investing mean to you?
Investing means, listen, you put aside some money today so you can have some money for tomorrow. If that makes sense. Like, people don't realize inflation, like what's going on now. You notice if you have $100, you know, you say, man, I spent that $100. You know, that's called inflation. Everything is inching up in price a little bit at a time, but it's eating away your purchasing, you know.
Purchasing power.
Your purchasing power, yes.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Mike, I don't mean to. Is it cool if we can like move this? That I want them to be able to see your face. It felt like at the front camera. Nah. Yeah.
Okay, move it over here.
Yeah. I just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that way.
The
Yeah.
mic.
So that
yeah.
way.
Keep
Yeah.
it
they
right
can-
down. So yeah.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, from this angle, it looked like that stick is like in front of your face. So I want them to
Okay.
make sure they can see your face.
No, you
got
good. You good. You good.
Can you name? Is there like any certain things to stay away from investing? Like, man, this investment or buying this stock or bond might seem like a good idea, but in the end, it was like terrible or something. Is there something we should look out for?
I think really every investment is a good investment, but you have to do your due diligence and do your research and realize it might not pay out in 3 months, but it might pay out in 10 years. See, the whole thing is, the longer you stay in the game, in the stock market, the better your wealth will become.
Right.
3 to 5 years, I recommend.
Is that 3 to 5 years like
You'll definitely see a significant difference
in your money?
in
Like,
your money. Yes.
okay.
And if you go 10 years, oh yeah, this is life changing.
Okay. That's what's up. Now, is investing just like savings? Like, you know how like you can open a savings account? Would you
Right.
consider that an investment, or would you just say that's like technically savings?
The difference in savings is savings. I figure you lose money because your money's just sitting still. You know what I mean? You have what? No interest. Well, or you do have interest.
Interest
Was it
would be
point 0.04?
It'd be like
Something
small.
like that. Like
Yeah.
what's that? $40 a year on. It's not a lot of money. But investing, you're gaining compound interest, meaning your money is constantly growing, and certain companies give out dividends. So when they give out the dividends, you just keep reinvesting it. You don't take it out and, I'm going to go buy a hat or something like that. You just keep dumping it in. And what you call, dollar cost average, you always are, you will always be invested. It doesn't matter. It's just like, $50. Oh, the market went down. That's the best time to buy, is when the market is down, because you got to look at it like you're getting more stocks for a lesser price.
So it's basically like on clearance.
Right. It's on clearance. It's time to go shopping.
And that's when you want to buy.
Right.
And
right.
then when's the time? In investments, you buy and then you sell your stock.
Well, yes, that you sell, but you don't have to. That's
Okay.
the whole thing is you want your money to grow throughout, time, and you can use your let me say your brokerage account or whatever is leverage. See, that's if you're getting into business and stuff like that, you go to the bank with a loan or whatever, you say, listen, I don't have this. They're looking at your credit. Of course, you got to have good credit and stuff, but they're looking at your brokerage account. You say, listen, I don't have the cash right now, but I do have $50,000 in stocks, and I could use that as leverage.
Okay.
Okay.
Tough. Free game, y'all. Free game. Make sure y'all pay attention, man. Make sure y'all rewind that back. Listen to what he was talking about. Free game. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Exactly.
That's how I got it, man. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
As far as investments, offhand, without thinking, what are some things that people can invest into? Because I know we had a conversation off camera about what was the future things, or certain things that may pop up in the future that could be a good investment and stuff. What are like I guess the certain names of things that we could invest in for people who don't know?
I mean, first of all, I would start the person, if you're just getting into investments, if you work a job, get into your 401k. Everybody like, well, 401k, that's basically like your index fund. Index fund meaning your job buys up a lot of stocks, a whole pool of stocks, pretty much. And usually most companies will match. Match meaning if you say, well, listen, I just want 4% out of my pay. It's not a lot of money, but they'll say, well, we'll match you. We'll match. If you're taking 4% out, we'll match you to 8%. And so that's like free money on the table. That's how I look at it. It's like, hey, this is free money. So why not? You won't miss that, $40, $50, whether it's $100 or whatever, percentage you take out of your check, they'll match it. So when you match it throughout time, your money's growing. And you have to, one thing I was telling Warren, the other day, I said, in my 401k, I've been with, this job, for a couple years, only a couple years. And I never really paid attention to who were the investors,
Right.
And I looked and I saw, like BlackRock, companies like BlackRock, which if you don't know who BlackRock is, they own everything. Pretty much they buying up all the real estate in the U.S. right now. But you got to think, when you think of something like that, you're saying, well, I know they're making money. So if they're making money, then I'm going to make money. So that's one way of looking at it.
Okay.
So first start with the 401k for the people with jobs. You got any ones for people that don't have jobs?
All right, well, here you go.
Like a company like Dell, Apple, like.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This just hit me the other day too. Everybody who has Cash App, everybody got Cash App. A lot of people have Cash App, right?
Them OnlyFans girls got Cash App.
Exactly. Right.
All right, OnlyFans girls, pay attention. Sit down.
OnlyFans girls, this one's just for you right here. Nah, it's for everybody too. But you could take your money. I found out like you could go to a place like a 7-Eleven or whatever, put up your Cash App, have them scan it, give them $5, $10, $20, $50 right at the register, and they'll pop the money on your Cash App, right? So I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. So with that, you can buy a stock right there off of Cash App, Yeah. And some of the ones I recommend, everybody like, oh, I don't know what to invest in. It's like I said, do your due diligence, do your homework. But something like like you're picking up your phone. Who makes your phone?
Apple.
Bang. That's one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You jump on a computer at work to read those SOPs, and look at YouTube.
Right.
Who owns most of the computer name you could think of?
Dell.
Microsoft.
Tough, yep. So
those,
you saying, wait. You saying you can buy stocks off of your phone.
Right.
On Cash App.
On Cash App.
Right now.
Right now.
You can get you some stocks.
You get you some stock, man. And the thing is,
now if I was to buy one, not to cut you off, if I was to buy one, right, how long do I let that stock sit? Is that where the 5 years, the 2 years, or is it like overnight?
Now this is what I say. I say write down a plan.
Okay.
You say, yo, are you on some D-boy type stuff where I gotta get my flip back by the next of the week, If that's the case, then I would say go ahead and download Robinhood app like that. It's Moo. You got Webull. Not getting paid for this, so disclaimer. And they'll tell you what are the fastest moving stocks right now. They got information that they'll tell you like this one gained in 3 months, and you could do that route, but that's more like rolling the dice. You just hopefully you hit 7 or 11. But, I say just wait. You want to go with something that's moving, something that I always stay with something that one of my favorites, disclaimer on this one too, I told you, NVIDIA. A lot of people like, who's NVIDIA? I don't know. I'm like, you play PlayStation, right? You got your TVs. These chips are in everything. They're going to be in everything in the future, in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. They got a 50-year plan on how they're going to take over all the chip game, you know?
So is that some of them chips that was coming from China that they was
Yes, sir. There you go.
Yeah, the
There you
NVIDIA
go.
chips. Y'all hear?
Yeah, right. And they're trying to sell. Actually, they made a chip for China. It's supposed to be a better chip. That's not really good when you consider China our competition, but yeah. But we got. I think they're going to write legislation and stuff and laws around for us that's going to benefit the American investor.
Right. Now I heard you went to the Invest Fest.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was my next thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. So, for anybody that don't know, before we do talk about Invest Fest, there is I'm thinking of production, what do you call it? Well, a festival, a get together. What's a better
It's like
word
Rolling
for it?
Loud.
Yeah, there's this thing
event,
called
an annual event.
Right. I'm sorry. There's an event called Invest Fest for anybody that's really learning like about wealth and, like I said, things to do with your money, how to gain financial freedom. I think Invest Fest is one of those places where you definitely should go. I personally didn't because of my situation, but we do have somebody who did go and take their time to go to Invest Fest, learn a whole bunch of information, but we really just wanted to hear your experience about Invest Fest. I also, before we do get into it, have the bad traveling experience that we had. So I wanted to talk about that too. So from A to Z, break it down for the viewers, man. How was Invest Fest? How was your trip from A to Z, man?
Listen, I went to Invest Fest last week. I had a ball. They have it every year, I think in August or whatever. The podcasters are Earn Your Leisure, if you don't know. That's pretty much what I watched and get a lot of knowledge from. These two brothers, Troy Millens and Rashad Bilal. These guys, they started a podcast during COVID, I think about 5 years ago. And they have all kind of people with knowledge on their podcast, like from selling homes to how to flip homes to understanding Bitcoin and the different coins, what you call them, stable coins and stuff like that.
There's all types of coins.
Right, all kinds of coins. Doge coins. And
they got all types of coins, bro.
And breaking down the structure of what we're going to use these coins for in the future. I think that's what everybody don't understand what Bitcoin's about. I don't even know everything. I'm still learning myself, but it's going to be basically the new money. So, and I guess how companies relate to each other as in buying and selling, in the background. So, but man, I had an amazing time from just walking in the door. It's like so much. The vendors, let me talk about the vendors. Like anything you want to sell that's by, us basically, different people, black people mostly, but it's there. I mean, all the way down to soap, toothpaste, it's
toothpaste.
You can buy within your own economy. You can make your own economy just by, supporting these vendors. And then they have a big stage where from Steve Harvey to just big names that's just giving us knowledge. Charlemagne the God was there this year. Just who was the Magic Johnson? That was the big name. I mean, he gave some good advice, man, and it's just it's breathtaking.
Was it a lot of people there?
Oh, what was it roughly? I think. And I'm guessing you could, look it up. I think it was about 25 to 30,000 people that came through. Yeah, this is. I've been around a lot of places, California, East Coast, West Coast. You know what I mean? And I never seen a conference, especially with African Americans, that's that big. That's just talking about business and knowledge and investments and. I think Block was, different companies was there. Block was there. Who's everybody like? Who's Block? Block owns Cash App. So, I mean,
the owners of Cash App was in that motherfucker.
That's right.
Y'all
That's
better
right.
pay attention.
Yeah, man. That's right, man. They have, and and if you don't, and the thing is, the experience too. If you don't even know what you're there for, I'm gonna be honest. I'd suggest you make it a thing to do in the next 5 years, because I don't know how long these brothers are going to hold this conference, because they getting so big. They going from doing a podcast just like this, I think, in their house. They was doing a podcast to booking out the Congress Center in Atlanta, which it's like a football stadium, man. I'm like, geez, like in 5 years. So I think it can happen. If they can do it, I know y'all can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Big up to the guy. Thank you. Big up to the guy.
Yeah, hand clap to the Invest Fest and everybody that they brought out. A hand clap to any person that was part of their vendor list, sold some product, made some money, really gathered some connections. And I personally did see their growth. I didn't see it personally, but I saw a video and seen how, like you said, how they did start from zero to renting out a whole big spot like that. So they really did come up from nothing to something. So I do want to give a shout out to them, and thank you for even bringing up something like that so people can cherish and flourish and, build wealth and all this type of crazy stuff. But it was dope.
Yeah, and not to cut you off too, but the person that's next to you at these festivals, you would be amazed. You never know who you're going to talk to.
Right.
And I met a young man. I was telling Warren, met a young man that, he was just asking me information. He just saw me writing this list that I have here. I was just like writing ideas while I was charging my phone. And come to find out, he owns land in somewhere in Africa. I'm not sure. But he was basically, his plan was he wanted to know how to connect the bridge, the Africa to African Americans in the United States. And I said, look, man, and he's just saying, I got this land, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And I just said, you know what, me talking, I just said, yo, I'm going to throw you $1 million idea right now. And I said, I was watching Khalees. Everybody that don't know, Khalees is Nas's ex, wife or whatever, and she bought a lot of land in Ghana. And she just said, well, she went to the local officials and just said, what do you guys need? And, they said, onions. We need onions. And then I said, yo, so I told them that story. I said, hey, man, you could just grow onions on your land, whatever that village need or wherever you at, whatever. And that's a business.
Yeah.
Selling onions, red onions.
Yeah, no, for
this
real.
is something as simple as onions.
It was like, to speak on that, last time we had this podcast, we had the owner of this establishment on here, Chris. Chris said that even with having this business, he said, the one thing about starting a business is you need to be able to help the community. Like when you're the first one to launch in the community, exactly. He like if you can be the first one there and you're helping the community, you gonna flourish type shit. But that's just crazy that you saying that and stuff. But as far as in the Invest Fest, what's one thing you learned like that was like, damn, I'm glad I came here?
So it's so many things. I say go to learn. Always be an open book. You never know what you're going to run into. Be willing to listen to different people. Of course, if you have a business, you want to pitch your idea, or whatever. But, man, when you listen to different people, it helps you, evolve your business because you're inspired by their stories or even getting different knowledge that you may not looked at. You might look one way, but you're like, wow, I never thought of it like that by just talking to somebody. So when you go to these events, get around, network. That's the word. Network, yourself, and you'll be surprised.
That's pretty cool. Did you get any other contacts while you was out there?
Let me see. I wasn't really going for the contacts, man. What? This was my first year. Oh, you know what I mean? But the one thing, the young gentleman that I was talking to, I got to just break down the whole how to buy stocks and stuff while I was charging my phone for an hour and a half. So to me, that was something I really felt good about. A young brother, I think he was about 22 or whatever, and just giving him the game.
If you could give the people out there some free game, I know you already gave us a lot of free game. You give us a little bit more free game. We just gonna ask for a little bit. See, you give people an inch, they want a mile.
Right.
You know what I mean? You give us some salt, they gonna want some sugar. So if you could give us, I see you got your stuff. If you could give us a little bit of free game right now, what would you tell somebody that's younger? I'm saying in their teens, that's coming up, about to graduate, or they probably got a couple more years, whatever. Give them some free game.
Man, I would say, listen, the world ain't gonna give you shit. So you gotta go get it. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how long we're going to have these so-called jobs, because they're talking about AI is taking over here, AI is taking over there. So I tell a lot of young people, invest in your future. You know what I'm saying? They be like, what you invest in your future? Invest in that company that may take your job. You know what I'm saying? Invest in that company that may take your job.
I like that one. Right. Invest in that company that might take your job. Right. Yo, that's deep.
Yeah.
So
because of the AI, yo.
So if it's anybody out there, if you got an extra 20 to spend, if you got an extra $100 to spend, and even like you said, if you got your change in your car and you keep a little console, take that little change, ride up to your CVS, your 7-Eleven, whatever you do. Hey, I want to put this on my Cash App and have that little change in your Cash App and invest that and make sure that it's in a good stock, a good area to invest in. It was something I was going to ask about InvestFest, but you had brought up the game.
Another thing, while I was at InvestFest, I ran into I'm going to say two brothers that were investing. One guy was from New York, Brooklyn. Shout out to Brooklyn. The other guy was from Atlanta. Shout out to the A. And one of them, he was like, yeah, I'm investing, he's invested in NVIDIA and stuff like that. The second guy was impressive because he was riding Uber. So all those Uber drivers out there, he said, man, I had a passenger, an older lady in the car that I was taking to the airport, and she turned me on to investing. Because, we got in, had a conversation or whatever, and he was like, yeah, just take a little bit. It takes time. He said, that's what it took, man. I hate to say it. It took an old white lady for him to be like, yo, this is real. This is how, they make their money. So why can't I do it? So he said he started investing during the same time, I guess, COVID or whatever. And he went and bought that Tesla. He said, this Tesla paid for it. He said, I'm working for myself. This is what I do. And I'm like, yeah. I gave a hand clap. I said, man, I'm proud. I love hearing stories like that of the youth. And he just said, I said, well, what's your goal, in the future? He said, to own a couple more of these. He said, whether he said, I can't drive all of them. He said, whether AI driving them or not. He said, but I'm going to own a couple. And he said, that's my plan. So I look at it like, wow, within 4 to 5 years, he did that, paid off his car, and now the rest is profit.
Yeah,
feel that one.
You made a good point, and that's what I like about that story. About you have to be open-minded and even listen. Some people get to a point where I know everything. I ain't gotta listen to stuff, right. and you never know who could really be giving you some game, some knowledge and stuff. And you like you said, you were surprised that, it happened to be an old white lady and stuff, but maybe it took that lady to really like let it click in his head.
Right.
But I say it depends on what type of person you are. I know some youngins that don't listen, and I know some older people that don't really listen. They just stuck in their ways.
Right.
But No, that's why I'm happy we doing this podcast, because like I said, this was supposed to be a podcast to be inspired, to give somebody some game, not somebody to just waste their time on, they just talking. No, man, I thank you yet again for showing up, for even trying to just showing people, like, or telling people, yo, bro, it's a way to make some money out here.
Exactly.
It's a way to double profit. It's a way to take your old money, turn it into new money. But
sir.
yeah. Yeah, is there anything else you wanted to say? Because I still got a couple more topics. All right, we could start off on the next topic. The bad experience traveling. we had said this yet again off camera to talk about it. I don't know if you want to talk about it. But since I brought it up, I want to bring up one funny experience. I guess we could have something to just laugh at, joke with. Have any one of y'all ever had a bad experience traveling? Because I have. Sure. Let me explain what happened to me.
I'm like, damn, I was about to say me. I was like, nah, go ahead.
I go buy a ticket. Actually, I didn't. Somebody helped me bought it. But I went and bought a ticket to Atlanta to go visit my cousin who needed help moving from one house to another. While usually when I go do my flights, it'd be nice, simple, and sweet. But this particular flight fucked me up a little bit. And I don't usually let people like this fuck me up. But it was some kids on there, and we traveling to Atlanta. And I don't see, I sound fucked up for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. It was some badass black kids on there being loud as a motherfucker, disrupting my flight, had the headphones in, and they were still louder than the motherfucking music. So for all y'all that's got them badass kids out there, please tell them sit down and shut the hell up. But that was one of my bad experience traveling. Anybody want to share an experience?
Only thing I've ever had is when I got to the airport, I fell asleep like on the chairs, right? And you know how the chairs got these type of armrests, but you could like lay under the chair, but there's no like bar like this. Right. So I laid and forgot that it was a bar and woke up and smacked the hell out of my head. I had a knot on my shit for like 3 days after that, bro. I got up smooth, fat, boom. That's the only time I ain't never really had bad traveling experience. I'm usually happy when I'm traveling. If something try to go wrong, I'm like, nah, I keep that negative energy over there. I don't really mess with the negatives. Right. I be going with the flow when I travel, like, you know what I mean? So everything be chilling.
Hey, one of my experiences, since we on the money thing, right? I'm sitting there as soon as I touch down. I go to the car rental place and I'm like, let me go get this car. I'm gonna be rolling through the A or whatever. And they was like, yes. Which car you want? I'm like, man, let me see what y'all got. They like, we got this Ford something and we got this Bronco. I'm like, yo, let me get that white Bronco. Since I drive a white car, I'm like, yeah, let me get that. I'll get that white Bronco. And she's like, okay. The holding fee's gonna be $500. I said, $500? I said, the hold? I said, wait a minute. I said, the hold.
Damn.
I said, now I need the rest of the money on my card because I'm, visiting. I'm planning on using one credit card, But when they put that holding fee on, I said, then I had to say, is this worth renting for 2 days, paying this money, and they're going to hold up $500 of my money? I said, no.
Investments start looking real different then. They start coming up with different investment plans. Right. Oh, we gotta mix and match.
Right. I said, no, I could drop that $500 on the investment. I feel that. Y'all just gonna hold it up? I said, nah. So Uber it was.
Yeah, I feel that when that boy's investments start going crazy, that money start churning and it said,
yes, sir.
Yeah, I ain't never had nothing like that, but I don't know. I like traveling. Every time I travel, I feel like I have a good time. Yes. It don't matter where I go. I've been all around the U.S. I've been out the country, but nice. I've always had a good time. Every time I travel, thank God I made it, back in one piece. I've heard stories of people on planes that they made it back in one piece, but it just didn't work. It was the plane done damn near went down nosedive. The little masks that they tell you done dropped on them. They was telling me this story, and I'm like, no, bro, you lying. They like, I'm dead serious.
Save yourself first. You can't help the kids if you ain't got the mask on.
For real. And I said, bro, that's messed up. And it's like when somebody telling me stories like this, I be trying to be serious, but it's like, dang, I want to laugh so bad because it sounds funny. Like, just imagine that, especially if you a younger person, you just like, help. And you're like, nah, bro, it's over. GG's, my boy.
Hey, I say go watch that old school movie Airplane. It's a comedy. You'll see what Will's talking about.
You talking about Soul Plane?
Oh no, it's a movie called Airplane.
Airplane?
Yeah, it's a comedy, man. You'll die, man. It's
dang,
in the 80s. It took place in the 80s, but same stuff be happening.
Yeah, I gotta go check that out.
I couldn't imagine being a little kid. You know, I don't know if you want to say the first experience, but like the first few experience being on the airplane and the motherfucking bags drop on your ass.
That's what I'm saying.
I would be like, ooh,
You'll never fly again.
Yeah, that.
Anxiety is through the roof.
If they going through the clouds and stuff, like you can't see, at least like when you in the air, you could kind of see the clouds and see the sky. But if I'm saying going through a cloud and that shit drop,
what? I'm scared. Now, when you was going down there, right, and the Invest Fest, did you have a mission?
Yes, my mission was to suck in as much knowledge as I could. I was one big NVIDIA chip. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I'm going down there like, what you got in your head? Yeah, that's what I was like. What you got in your head? Give me your knowledge.
Right.
You know?
I feel you.
What's going to be my next?
But I'm going to give you something. I'm going to give you a little something, man.
Go ahead.
The difference between, yes, they had a lot of women down there at this Invest Fest. Mm-hmm. The difference between these women and women at a Chris Brown concert is these women are focused on their money. And I mean, seriously, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't talking about, listen, I'm trying to do this or I got this, man, they looking at you like, all right, you might as well keep it moving. I got to get this. They hustling down there, I'm telling you. It's real.
Right.
That's what's
and
up. That's what's up.
I don't know about you. I mean, like I said, both of y'all doing y'all thing. Oh, that's my phone. Both of y'all doing y'all thing. But I'm telling you right now, that would definitely bring a woman that's a 5 closer to a 6, maybe an 8 closer to a 10. You know what I mean? Because most of the time when I meet somebody that's my age or probably a little bit younger, probably some of them a little bit older. All right, so, what are things that you want to accomplish in life and stuff like that? Oh, I'm going to get this money on the street. I'm in the club popping bottles every day. And, it's like a road to destruction. Like, okay, I see you just want to live young, wild, and free as much as you can. You have no direction of wanting to set goals and boundaries for yourself. I think that's something that I could respect out of a woman. Like, okay, she has boundaries, meaning she's not going to let nobody distract her from what she wants out of life. She has a goal of a positive whatever, of a positive situation, of a positive, let's get together and get a house or get our finances in order or get the things that we need to contribute out of life. That'll really make a woman look 10 times attractive than just, I want to pop bottles and get this money because I'm young, wild, and free. Like, no.
But that's why you men out there, y'all need to stay on y'all damn toes. A lot of y'all men just bumming the fuck around. Mm-hmm. I don't care what y'all say. A lot of y'all men is just bumming around and waiting for either Jesus to come back and save your ass, your mama to save you, or some woman. That shit's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He done flew out to go to an Invest Fest to invest in his future. You know what I mean? Some of y'all would look at it and be like, I don't need to. No, you the main one, need to be out there. Yeah. You should have rode your bike. I don't care if you lived in Massachusetts. You should have rode your bike all the way down to Atlanta and got your ass down there to the Invest Fest so you could have learned some free game and got put on so you can make some money. Make your money, make money while you making money.
Right.
Did y'all hear what I said? Wait, hold on. I don't think they heard what I said. They got make money while they making money and they money making money while they making money.
Oh, that's deep.
That's deep. You know what I mean? Your money making money while you making money.
While you sleep.
While you sleep.
Nah,
while you making money.
you know, doing something like that, it may seem fun and an adventure, but for me, when I seen you did it, man, it spoke volume. You know what I'm saying? It let me know, no, I'm serious about what I'm investing my time into. I'm not investing my time in bullshit. The next 420 event, I gotta do something to make me feel good. No, I went to an event that could possibly change my life for the better. You know, and not even if it don't change my life for the better. Maybe I could learn something that I could pass on to the next man, and it might change his life for the better.
And I'm gonna say this too. Like when you think about investing, a lot of people are like, oh man, it's gonna put me to sleep. You know, when I was there, man, they have a conference room. I mean, we was swagging and surfing. The DJ was off the chain. You thought
they had
you
a
was
DJ
at a
in there?
concert. Oh yes. The music was bumping before the guest speakers came up to talk. I mean, it was just a whole of it was not boring at all.
That's
like whatever
what's up.
you into, you like, yeah, I had fun there. And I'm gonna say, you know, to even the young ladies, man, you know, not to knock your hustle. If you stripping on, you still on the pole, you making the money, you better still, hey, go ahead and put that money on the Cash App, and you better invest in something too. You know, go ahead and pay that luxury tax. You know, that tax. Tax is going to get you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to pay tax, baby. You're going to pay the black tax. You're going to pay some type of tax Uncle Sam on his money. Either way.
Do.
But if you making more than enough, then you won't mind paying that tax. So I just say, you know, like, you know, the young gentlemen, the women, this is the new, for your future, you are going to have to invest. This is going to be part of your salary in the future. Let me say that again. If you don't invest, will be your salary in the future. Your salary, yes. If you ain't working at Wendy's, but if you had, you know, let's just say a couple $1 million invested, whatever, you can live off of, you know, $5,000, $6,000 a month. Think about what you spend every day, your expenses. Mm-hmm. If you know, and have a nice car, a nice house, be able to travel at least 1 or 2 times a year or whatever. So, I mean, I think that's the goal. Everybody, what's the goal? I mean, hey, 2 million. Shoot for 2 million. But I don't see that. Yeah, you can do it. Look at all the money you spent. Add up all the goofy money you spent in the last 5 or 10 years. Mm-hmm. It's possible.
And I agree, because all these people, I'm glad that we brought up Cash App. All these people that have Cash App, with whoever you spend your money with, whatever, it'll show you how much money you done sent or got sent to you in a transactional of 1 year, 2 years. So for all them people saying, oh, that's not true. Oh, but you send the weed man over $4,000 in the past 2-3 years. That was money you could have, all right, I'm going to put the blunt down, take this little money, you know, see what I can do with it, you know, wherever direction I want to go. But
hey, invest in weed. If that's your goal,
and that's
invest in it and let it pay you back.
Come to the Frosted Nug, man.
Speaking of weed, let's give a big shout out to the Frosted Nug. If you want to get high to get by, please come by the Frosted Nug that is here in South Jersey. You can Google it on your phone because I don't know the exact address. But it's here in South Jersey. Come get your flour, come get your wax, come get your chocolate bars, anything you want. Like I said, sponsored by Frosted Nug. I'm glad we got that out the way. But it's a reason why I bought you two here. Why, not specifically you, but why I bought you two.
Damn, what I did.
Yeah, I mean, because you was already going to be here regardless. But it's a reason why I bought you two here. It's one thing that y'all got in common, and that's raising kids. For you, it's just I wanted to touch base on marriage, but both of you guys have kids, and I wanted to shed a little highlight on what's your opinion on raising kids, what's your thoughts on raising kids, talk about kids, raising kids, how you think parenting has made you a better or worse person. Who want to start first?
I'll say this, man. Like, everything I'm doing right now is for my sons, you know, specifically my little son. I like, listen, if I'm talking about we're wondering if we're going to have jobs for the future, I'm got to think of him. I don't want him starting out at zero. You know, we got to look at it like we don't want our kids starting out at zero. Meaning when they get 18 and, you know, some want to go to college, but nowadays you got to ask yourself, wait, is that debt even worth it? You know, when I can get most of this knowledge off of YouTube. You know, I'm not knocking college. I'm a college, you know, graduate. Shout out to CCSU. But I'm just saying now, am I really using my degree? And I think the youth have to really look at when they even go into school. What am I going to school for? Art? You know what I'm saying? We need to go for agriculture, how to flip some land and how to grow something or something like that. And you could turn that into, you know, making your money and, you know, and your salary, whatever. But we have to have something to pass down to our kids. That's what it's all, because they're going to have a rough, you guys, I don't know what generation, you know, I don't want to lump you up into, you know, but you guys are having a harder time. I'm Generation X. I'm having a hard time. So you can imagine what our kids are going to go through, you know, financially. So I say, if you give them something to start off with, they can say, well, listen, you know what I mean? I was, you know, 21 or 20. My parents gave me this lump right here. I'm going to go start my own podcast. I got the money. You become your own bank. You like, hey, I'm going to start my own podcast. I don't have to go for a loan. You know what I mean? I'm the bank. I got, you know, parents gave me the money. They was invested. Well, how they get their money? Parents was invested. You know, now they got a little lump to give to their kid and say, hey, you know what? If college ain't for you, well, you write out your plan. You know, you get them prepared before they're 18. Write out your little plan, whatever, you know. The lollipop shop. You know, I'm selling lollipops. Yeah. Lollipops after you get your, you know, what's that? Your frosted nug, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have them munchies or whatever. Yo, well, come to the lollipop shop. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
Right.
With me with kids, I feel like what he was saying, the first thing he said, you're doing it for somebody else. Everything you're going to do at a point is for somebody else. I used to hear people say, like, without kids, you selfish. Which some people would say it's true, right? But to me, it's like, it's not that. It's, the thing is, you'll have to have money for somebody else. So, you know, some people that ain't never had like a brother or a sister, like I got my brother, I've always had to look out for this motherfucker right here. Like, even though he older, I've always had to look out. Same vice versa for him.
I was about to say,
vice
he ain't
versa
lying, and I don't look out for him.
So I've always had somebody to look out for, somebody that I'm getting his hand-me-down. So I got to make sure when don't mess them shoes up because they mine next year. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, it's always something. But I feel like
we all we got.
So right. So it's like, when it comes to the kids, it's like there's no what some people have to understand is there's no rule book to this shit. There ain't no damn I don't give a fuck who you are. There ain't no damn when my daughter was born, they didn't hand me a guidebook and say this is what you need to do. No, motherfucker. She was born. Them doctors walked out the room and said good luck, dead ass, and walked out. Never seen them again. So if you don't know how to feed your baby, clothe your baby, wipe that baby ass, change a diaper, schedule doctor's appointments, make sure they gonna go to school, you're gonna be a lost cause. Yes, you're just gonna be a lost cause because you have to do everything. This person is 100% depending on you without you even knowing. Like, no, bro, there is no rule book to this stuff. There is no, this is how we do it. No. It's just real life goes. So what he's saying of having something left for them is mad important because I look at my parents. My parents didn't know what a line of credit was. They didn't know what their credit score really meant until now. Like, not exactly today, but I'm saying like in later down the line to their late 30s because they weren't teaching all this. There wasn't the internet. There wasn't all these type of things where they can look on their phones or get on the technology or laptops and computers. So all this type of stuff is important to people like my parents, right? My parents' age, I would say. because it's a lot of them that don't know about this. They don't understand it. They've never were taught this. So some people like me and my brother's generation might be like, man, we done heard this about 50 times. But your generation, I'm not saying you're a lot older than me or anything like that, might look at it and be like,
I think I am.
oh, yeah. No, I'm saying like 80, like you're not like 80, 90 years.
Right,
Like a
okay.
lot older. Like, nah, you probably about like 20 years.
Man, he put me in the grave already.
No. But a lot of people might look at this and say, damn, bro, I've never heard of this. I've never heard that you can get stocks on Cash App. I don't even know what some people gonna look at this and say, I don't even know what a stock is, but there's a 16-year-old or 19-year-old that knows what stocks are, that know what a Roth IRA is, that knows what a 401k is, knows the brokerage that he can go to. They know all that. They know all their interests. Why? Because we have something like this, a cell phone that was never here. So that's why all this stuff is important with kids, family. It don't matter. Like, no, bro, all this stuff you learning has to be passed down. It has to, because you'll leave a gap. If I was to have a kid and leave that kid, you know what I mean, and pray that they mom took care of them, I'm leaving a gap of knowledge. I'm leaving a gap of wealth. I'm leaving a gap of anything that could be there at that time if I'm not present in that child's life. So that's why me personally, I like stuff like this. No, it's important. It's hella important because it's people out there that don't know that this shit exists. As much as y'all gonna look, and this is why me and bro always say, we just real motherfuckers. Cause a lot of y'all think a lot of people know what this shit is. I promise you, I could go down the block right now. This same street that we all sitting on, we can go down the block right now, and I can get 10 people that's not gonna know 2 words that he talking about. They not gonna know what a Cash App is. They don't even have Cash App. These is motherfuckers that grew up in the 70s, 60s. They don't have Cash App. They don't know what a stock is. They don't know how to invest. They didn't even know it was impossible for them to invest. I guarantee it. I'll bet this water bottle to I'll bet you $1,000 to a water bottle. That's how confident I am.
And Will, one thing, you know, like we put up our phones. This is the future. This is, even if, you know, for all those parents that I don't know what to ask. Here go another plug. ChatGPT. You know what I mean?
My dad don't even know how to work a smartphone, bro. My dad got a flip phone.
Okay.
My dad, like, this is why I'm saying, like, this is real. This is in real time.
In real time.
My dad does not know how to work a smartphone in 2025. He doesn't know what Facebook is. He doesn't know what Instagram is. He wouldn't know what Cash App is.
Right.
His family members wouldn't know what that is. I done seen it with my own eyes. So this is why I'm telling people, like, no, this shit is important.
I think a lot of people scared. You know what I'm saying? I mean, older, you know, the older generations, like
Facts.
you asked, they like, yo, the world's moving fast. It's different from what I know. You know, so I'm not going to mess with it. You know, I'm going to just leave it alone, you know. But it's like, yo, you have to go ahead, take that leap. You know, it all comes down to don't be afraid to fail. I mean, if you ain't failing, then you ain't trying. You know what I mean? You gotta fail, man.
Let him keep
in order
going.
to
Let
get
him
it.
go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? You have to keep going. And, you know, oh, man, it didn't work out. Well, get up. Do it again. 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 Do it again.
Run it again.
Yeah, run
What
it.
my coach say, you got knocked on your ass? Oh, yeah. My coach be like, you got knocked on your ass? Run it again. Run it again. Run it again. Damn, I got to run the ball again. Fuck.
You said something important, that if anybody is a fan of the Just Say It podcast, you would know. That was even posted in one of our clips that I personally had said the same thing that you had said. There is a lot of people who are afraid to fail, and they feel like they try to do something and it doesn't go their way. oh, I just want to give up. No, man. I said it in the last episode and I'll say it again. Your motto needs to be, I will quit tomorrow. When you wake up in the morning and you got that dream or that passion and stuff, you need to convince yourself, I will quit tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, you need to say the same goddamn quote that you told yourself that day. I will quit tomorrow. When a week has passed and shit has not worked, you still tell yourself, I will quit tomorrow. Why? Because I will not be or be scared of or run away towards being a failure.
But
Yeah,
not
go ahead.
to cut you off or anything like that. He said something else that was important. A lot of people in the older generation are scared or they don't know, right? And I watch it. I watch it ever since I came back, right? Because we lived in Illinois, just me, my mom, my dad, my brother, right? So when I come back to Jersey, I watched from Illinois how fast, how far they were in technology, and to come back here and see how way behind they were. Wow. And then trying to explain stuff to like my aunts and my uncles, and they either get frustrated or they just be like, nah, that shit ain't important. And then they come back up and they like, yo, how you do that? Like, how did you know what I mean? Like even as simple as taking a picture with a filter on it.
Right.
I got aunts and uncles that don't know how to do that shit. I got an uncle right now that had to call me to come over to set up his Wi-Fi box because he didn't realize that you need Wi-Fi to watch a smart TV.
Right.
This is real life.
This is real life.
I got an uncle right now that had to call me again to learn how to set up his own internet. Just to set up internet. I don't even know what internet is. How do I use internet? Don't even know what that is.
Yo, I think when we have like family barbecues and get-togethers or whatever, we should have like a tech day. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody sit around like, all right, y'all, this is gonna be the new. Who don't know how to take pictures? Auntie, come here. I'm gonna show y'all. And you know what? Maybe we have to set up a little thing like this is how we do it. You know, everybody grab your phone. Mm-hmm. This is what we gonna do. We gonna hit this. We might have to do that. And I think that's something. And you can even turn that into a business. Right. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're going $1 million idea right there for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, who the auntie, grandma, whatever, uncles that don't know how to do this, yo, for $25 for 1 hour, we're going to teach you how to take pictures with your phone and use email. You know? Yeah. Why not?
Go ahead. Now, I was thinking to myself, you know what? That sounds like a dope idea, but I wish people were more, or some of my older uncles and aunties were more advanced with it when it comes to technology. It's a game that we used to play probably like my senior year stuff when they started. Okay, everybody has a cell phone. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it was a game called Kahoot.
Oh yeah,
and
Kahoot.
Yeah.
Right.
I was only saying that because, like you said, if somebody was to have a family barbecue or something like that, I'm sure somebody gonna have a computer and some Wi-Fi. If everybody was more advanced, we could use games like Kahoot to not really to learn about the phone, but like I said, just to have fun. Everybody get their phones out, go to this website
and stuff.
Go to this website, put in this pin. We all gonna play a phone and stuff. I mean, I'm sure you can instruct them, but it goes down to little simple things like you said. Some of our uncles and aunts, and this was going towards my mother, my own mother, that one day I was on FaceTime with her and we was on a family chat, and she had ended up seeing something. She was like, I want to share it to y'all.
Screen share.
Yeah.
She ain't know how to screen share that day.
No, it wasn't even screen share. She was trying to send a link in the chat, but I guess while she was screen playing and viewing herself, she was like, well, how do I send the link? How do I send it in the group chat? And it was like, yo, mom, all you gotta do, right. Tap it, copy,
simple
put it.
Stuff.
Yeah, we take it for granted. You know what I'm saying?
We do, and that's what I not to cut you off, but that's what I realized. Like, I'm like, yo, all the technology stuff that we do, we take for 100. Especially when I went to college and tried to learn sound engineering. I knew for a fact that we took this shit for granted because they showed us what analog sound had to be set up like. Like, no, bro, there's a board that you gotta plug in every single sound. You want reverb, you gotta plug that in. Tune it the right way. You want auto tune. The auto tune wasn't even a thing. You want an echo, you gotta plug this in. You want a synthesizer, you gotta plug this in. You got a patch. It's called a patch bay. You gotta patch this from here to here. That's gotta go here. But you can't patch it any old way. No, it has to be patched all in order, or it's gonna sound crazy. And I said, you know what? Having programs like Pro Tools, FL Studios, Logic Pro, even GarageBand or whatever you use, I said that shit, them DAWs, that made the game fucked up. I see why older people, they pissed off. That fucked the game up. I'm telling y'all, I promise you. Go look up what I'm talking about and you'll see, like, I'm not lying. They used to use patch bays for phone dialing. When you called the operator, hey, you ever heard the song, Mr. Telephone Man? He calling the operator. There's something wrong with my line. I need you to patch me into my girl. Yeah. They taking a wire like that, like a cord, like a regular cell phone cord, but it's like an aux cord. They taking it out and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Plugging that shit into another phone line. Like, no, bro, this stuff is real. So that's why the digital world now is like, it's messing a lot of people up. And it's like, bro, you got to get in where you fit in. Right. And that's why I think right now, I don't want to be behind on anything.
Me neither.
I'm like, no, bro, if they going to do it, if I see this is coming up, let me jump in early. I don't care if it don't work. I'm going to jump in early because I don't want to be left behind. Because I remember moving up to Illinois and people kept telling my parents that y'all better start learning how to use y'all phones. Y'all going to get left behind. You're going to get left behind. And we in 2025 and my dad does not know how to work a smartphone. I'm dead ass. Does not know.
And a lot of time I say, use it for what you're going to use it for. Like, I know, remember a thing called photography? Used to be photographers with the big cameras or the cameraman with the camera on his shoulder and he lugging around this big thing. Now it's all in this. Yep. So if you're a cameraman, learn how to use the phone on your phone, the camera on your phone. Right. If you shooting video, learn how to edit. Different things. People say, well, I don't need that. All I need to know is how to call my sisters up. I got a family of 10 sisters. Well, learn how to use the face chat. And it starts right there. Once you learn one little aspect, and then you build off of that.
Right. Well, we got a couple more minutes, before we get out of here. Is there anything you like to share to the world? Any game you want to tell the folks? Anything you want to get off your chest before we get up out of here?
Yeah, say it with your chest. Yeah, just say it with your chest. Anyway, my social media is michael.judge72 at either what's that, Instagram or whatever. You could find me on Instagram if you have any questions. Other than that, man, I just say keep growing. Keep learning, definitely keep learning. There's a lot of information out there. And I say, hit me up. You got any questions? I'm involved with a lot of different things. You can see the shirt, Chase Street, whatever, man. If you're in the movies, you want to be a part of a movie, you already know. Yeah. I used to scout talent, whatever. I could tell if you got it or not. I'm like, nah, it's hot. Nah, he ain't got it, whatever. Right. You know what I'm saying? You want placements and different things. That's my whole thing. I don't want to say like the connect. I'm just say, look, yeah, I'm the connect. You know what I'm saying? I could connect you to somebody that knows something about something. Right. You in the, hip hop, how you do it, whatever. I could definitely steer you in the right way. You in the podcasting, my two brothers right here, just say it, Right. Hey, just holler at me.
We got it going on, man. And just like that, y'all, I think we're going to wrap this one up.
All right, yeah, we're going to wrap this episode up. Anything you want to get off your chest before we leave?
I just want to thank y'all again. Shout out to everybody that's watching. If you could hit the like button to help us out in the YouTube algorithm, we really appreciate it. Make sure you just spam the like button. Crash that mug as hard as you can. Comments are highly suggested. Subscribing, highly suggested. But the like button is where it's at right now. Hit the like button. I love y'all. We all love y'all. I appreciate everything y'all do for us. I am your co-host, DJ Blood Money. Make sure y'all go tap back in to this guy, Mike, right here. So, yo, what he was telling y'all is free game, bro.
Free game.
Free game. What y'all have to realize is everything that he was saying, somebody is online right now selling a course. Saying,
Yes,
hey, sign up for my course. It's going to cost $50. And they could be lying to you. I've transformed people that made $10 into $1,000, and people are signing up for courses like this and getting scammed left and right. So this is another thing what I mean about technology. Somebody that doesn't know technology like that and then jumped onto it and then seen this, they would pay that money. Mm-hmm. That's who their bread and butter is. And they would get scammed, and they just telling them stuff that he just told us all for free. So don't take anything for granted. Don't take anything. I don't care how big or small it is. Don't take anything for granted, for sure.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Mike, yet again, I want to thank you so much for being a guest on our podcast. It means a lot. You know, you one of the first of the few, because we didn't have, our first guest was like family members. Second guest was the business owner of the Frosted Nug, and you were so gracious enough to come join us in our journey, man. Thank you for your game, your words of wisdom, and I definitely had to bring you up on here. Like I said, man, y'all two got something in common, man. Y'all raising kids and stuff. We didn't get to the marriage or family, but that's all right. I think you said more than enough, man. I want to thank each and everybody for watching this episode. I am your host, Warren Sox.
And I am your co-host, DJ Blood Money.
And thank you for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Thank y'all for watching the clips, sharing the clips. I want to give a big shout out to the Frosted Nug.
The Frosted Nug, man, where you could come down and get premium cannabis. They also have Legend carts. They got Deadpool vapes, which is live rosin, and they got edibles. Anything y'all need. First time customers, you can get 20% off right now at the Frosted Nug. Make sure you pull up and tell them the Just Say It podcast sent you. Y'all get 20% off your first time here. They got everything. They even got glassware, I think, that y'all could buy in here, man. They got everything y'all need. Pull up to the Frosted Nug today.
All right, and it's just like that, and we out, man. Let's give a hand clap.
Let's give a hand clap to Mike, y'all. Let's give a hand clap to Mike.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for inviting me down to the Grove.